Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
So good today. It's a thrilling day to be a Bravo fan, Ben.
Yes, happy Salt Lake City reunion day. I feel like everyone's tuning in for this right now. Like the finale was so huge that I'm sure the ratings for this reunion are going to be through the roof. I mean, already over the weekend, during like the Golden Globes, Jennifer Lawrence was talking about how like the finale. I just saw a video this morning about Megan Thee Stallion talking about the finale. I mean, like it's everywhere. This is the thing. This is where you want to be in pop culture right now.
This is where it's at. You know where else you're going to want to be? The Golden Crappies, which is our yearly award show for all things Bravo. That's going to be February 17th this year. We're really excited. Tickets are just now going on sale. You can find ticket links at watchwhatcrappens.com. February 17th, it's in Los Angeles. It is at the Palace Theater. You never know who's going to be there. We have so much fun. Come to that. It's already looking like it's going to be a huge party from everybody that we're hearing back from and everybody that's coming. And our nominations special, we did a 2-part nomination special where we went over a bunch of your all suggestions on our bonus episode this week on Patreon. This is also a video, which you can watch on Patreon as well. Find all those links at watchwhatcrappens.com. And thanks to everybody who's already bought tickets. Yasa.
Yasa. It's going to be amazing. I'm really excited for it. This reunion, I'm also excited for. Wow. I mean,
before we start it, can I give a shout out real quick? Sorry, but
do it.
I just want to give a shout out to a couple friends of the pod. We have such talented friends. Brenda Stanley, you are kicking ass with your book, Still Small Voice. Brenda Stanley, Still Small Voice. It's Mormon. It's a mystery, takes place in SLC. Go read it. I'm reading it. I'm really enjoying it. Also, I used to co-host a podcast called Rose Pricks, which was about Bachelor. It was a Bachelor recap podcast with Stephanie Wilder Taylor. We did that together for like 4 years. She made me laugh so hard. She's a good person and a good friend and a really good writer. She's got so many books out, and her newest one is out now to pre-order. It's called Drunkish by Stephanie Wilder Taylor with an F. Stephanie with an F. So go get it. So both Brenda Stanley and Stephanie Wilder Taylor, congrats on your books, Drunkish and Still Small Voice. People, go buy things. Let's make a difference.
Congratulations. That's really an epic achievement for both people there. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to us also for
the book of notes that we took, or for
the
what,
book
what
of
were you going to
notes.
say?
No, that we wrote a book of notes to get through this reunion. Wow, just wild. It's just so wild. And like, you know, I don't know. I can't even do my usual like pontificating before should we just dive in? Actually, before we dive in, let's talk. Do you want to talk about? Do you want to do it here, or do you want to do it in the episode?
Oh, let's do it when we get to the recording.
Okay, you just let me know. You give me the sign, okay? But we have something special queued up.
Gosh. Well, you know, we've been going a little crazy with the Monica stuff because after our last recap last week, which was the season finale, obviously, we recapped that before it came out. So we hadn't really seen the internet response, which is always good. I really like that because we can't get swayed by any other opinions. You know, it's just whatever we try not to be anyway, but you can't really help it when you read the internet a lot. But guess what I do get obsessed with? Things that come out on the internet. So Monica went a little wild on the internet, and so did Tanisha. Everything just started coming out. Tanisha just started receipts. She leaked a bunch of stuff, and it led people to be like, what the hell's going on? When did all of this take place? So in last night's crappy hour, or the other night's crappy hour, we did a Monica timeline as we understand it, as just stuff that we've looked at on the internet with help from Bravo and Blaze account, with Sassy from Bravo Docket podcast, and a bunch of other TikTok people who really put a lot of stuff together and effort. So go listen to that because there's a lot of really good background information and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's like a quote unquote living document because obviously stuff keeps on coming out. But like Ronnie did a great job compiling all the dates so far that at least are out there on the internet. So it's just an easier way to get all the information right there. So yeah, go check out our Crappy Hour episode because there's a lot of SLC gossip on there.
A lot.
Really
Something we didn't even get to talk about was just this video that was released of Monica and her mother. We talked about it a little bit, I think. Yeah, we did talk about it. It's the video of Monica and her mother. Yeah, we talked about that. And go check it out. It's our Crappy Hour Live. It's out this week on the free feed. If you want to watch the video, you can watch it over on our Patreon. Okay, so let's get started. One of the biggest reunions of the season.
Yeah, huge. So the episode opens up with like a trailer of what's to come, like on this 3-part Salt Lake City reunion. But it was a good trailer. It was really, really good trailer.
It was pretty good. Are you bad leather? Wait, did he say, are you bad weather or leather?
No, he said bad leather. Yeah, no, he said, Heather and Lisa, are you two bad leather? Ha, ha, ha.
Already confused. Don't ever call a Real Housewife leather.
I know. I was like, Andy, you were taking your life into your hands right now.
You've already had Tamara telling you to shut your mouth or whatever this year. You do not need another housewife cursing you out on a reunion. Come on.
You saw the way Heather knocked Angie out of a chair in an effort to get past Whitney to get out of that little bar in Bermuda. You better be careful where you're sitting. You're right next to her. She will knock you out if you call her leather one more time. So anyway, I didn't really take notes on the trailer because we're gonna see it anyway. So it opens properly with the women arriving in New York City, and they're all getting out.
God, the Statue of Liberty, Haas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put your arm down already. Doesn't that hurt? Like, don't you ever feel that? That is such an active statue. I don't like active statues. Put your fucking arm down. Like I'm so over looking at you with your arm in the air like that. Like, we get it. You know the answer. You're always the first one to answer.
It's like a permanent Survivor endurance challenge. Yeah, it's like Statue of Liberty is like, I said, give me your tired and your poor, not your tryhards and thirsty Real Housewives. So
yeah, especially like tired and put down your armpit, okay? Stop welcoming to America with your people to America with your armpit. We don't need it. Statue of Liberty. Okay.
Well, I
just make all statues like the Lincoln Memorial or the Lincoln one where he's just sitting down. I just want a sitting statue. Okay.
I want a disappointed statue where a statue just has her hands on her hips and like a look on her face. Like, really?
Her lips pursed with her eyebrows up.
Like I'm literally getting shit on by pigeons and you are going to take a photo in front of me of my bad hair day.
Yeah. So then we see that, and then we see other shots of New York. Oh, New York, what you've become. Just a shot of the forever not 21 anymore store. It's like, yeah, come on.
And I so these SUVs keep pulling up in front of the studio, and they're getting out of the SUVs and walking in. And I just love that there's like a Dunkin' Donuts across the street. I was like, of course, this show, like, you know, if it's New York, these things are everywhere. But just somehow the idea of these women glamorously stepping out of these SUVs while they're just like, Dunkin'. You know, I don't know. It's just like it's so perfect for this show, especially the way the season began.
So as they arrive, they get out of the cars, and then we slow-mo on them kind of walking through the door, and then we hear echoes of what their trauma is for the reunion, coming into the reunion. And Heather's is, I felt like I had to protect her for the fact that she gave me a black eye. And then Meredith arrives, and she just like kind of pops out of this is the least benzoed we've ever seen Meredith, by the way. She just like practically skips from the car inside, little pigtails, like,
Well, she's in a city where blazers are, you know, commonly accepted. She's in a very blazer friendly city, so she feels great right now. You know,
very blazer forward city.
It's a very blazer forward city. She's like, I'm back with my people. So we hear her voiceover. For 3 months, you have sat here and with us and not told us the truth.
I'm putting on lip gloss because I already feel that I'm going to need it for this.
Yeah.
So then Whitney Whitney's, of course, is not as good. It's just like, you had a secret, a secret, a secret, a secret. Line.
Yeah, her echo asks for a line. Her echo can't remember the thing it's echoing.
Yeah.
When she goes to a canyon, she's like, echo. And her echo is like, echo, echo, line. Huh? You exploited my vagina.
Echo, echo, echo. Line. It's gonna make me laugh every time. I'm just repeating exactly what you said.
It is
just funny.
So, Angie. So, by the way, Angie
Can we do
was
that again?
again.
Remember her thing
Again.
in season 1? She was basically like when they had that fight at the Top Golf, and she's like, "Wait a minute, can we start over?"
From the top.
Start over.
So, Angie. By the way, poor Angie. She is. They kind of do her dirty on this episode. It's hilarious, but it's so Angie. So when she has her big flashback, she doesn't even get to say most of her flashback. It's like she comes out and you're Monica being like, Angie, let's talk about your involvement. And hers is, I didn't do shit. But it's like a microsecond. They don't even give her a full like moment. They didn't even show her holding up the bouquet to throw at Monica.
Well, your notes are better than mine because I just say Angie just gets to say hi. It's like, hi drivers. Thank you for the ride.
Makes me never want to go home. Am I right? So then Lisa.
Thank you for taking me to the reunion in this Greek NC car.
I don't know if you saw the story today, right? This is what my life has come to. I don't know if you noticed the story that I posted on our Instagram this morning, but there was a Greek food truck parked near me. And I drove by and I recorded. I go, I am Greek. I was like, this is what's happening now. I see anything that's remotely Greek, and I'm like, Angie.
It's like when Dorinda had her Giovanni moment, which like Giovanni, yay Giovanni, and people just kept messaging us pictures in the grocery store of Giovanni yogurt and being, oh my god, I see Dorinda everywhere. You've got the disease where you see Bravo everywhere. Yeah,
I got the disease.
We've got it. It's a Bravo fans disease. You know,
it's a good disease to have.
I mean, listen. Right now, the Instacart finally came to my door, and it came to my side door, and I like literally looked at the front door and was like, "You exploited my vagina."
To be fair, it was Heather delivering the food, which was really weird.
So then,
wait, can I say something? Can I say something really quickly about that?
Of course.
Someone wrote a message that reminded me of something very funny, which is that you may remember this news story, but when Titanic came out in Utah, there was a video store that famously was offering to edit out the "Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls" scenes from Titanic. It actually made national news. So the person joked that Whitney probably has never even seen that scene. But also that like that scene is like, it makes me wonder, is that scene kind of like held as like high taboo in Utah, like to the point where like, you know, it's part of Utah culture that had to be like, someone had to like edit it out. So when you refer to it in a book, it's like really smutty sounding. Just want to put that out.
Oh my gosh.
As a theory.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that culture works, but we sure hear about it a lot.
It's just a good callback to some crazy news story from the 90s. Anyway, that was it.
Yeah. Oh, news. Oh, Titanic. I didn't even really remember that scene as well as you remembered it. I was like, when did they hire somebody to paint her naked in that? Really, all I remember from Titanic, obviously, I loved when the band kept playing as the ship went down. I loved that. I was like, oh my God, now that's a good worker. Right there. That, you know, we watch a lot of Below Deck with terrible employees, and I was like, those employees, they're dedicated. The boat is literally turning up, nose down, and they're like, no, 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 no. And then when Kathy Bates was in the boat watching all the poor people die, she just passed by, and she's like, hi, darling, would you like a ride? I love that. Those are my two favorite parts. Anything else I don't really remember.
You know, Titanic in many ways was the Republic of its time. You know, those employees really cared.
They really did a OG Bosby, Leah.
Maddie. Leah. Be like, did you hit that iceberg? You're in big trouble, sir. Maddie's DJing on the deck.
You know. Okay, so Monica, when Monica arrives, her flashback is of her finishing out the season by saying, "There is so much more to this story, girl, and trust me, you're all gonna want to hear it."
So now we see Andy walking out onto the set, which is it's both Bermuda but also snow. It's like snowy Bermuda. It's sort of, I imagine this is what Dorit's Panto looks like in London right now. Like it's like pirates, but it's also snowy. Peter Pan, both in London and in the Caribbean, and Never Neverland all at once.
This show also just has the least respect for its cast, I think, of any show. And that's saying a lot. But this show, we see some dirty editing they did with Lisa a little bit later, which we talked about now. But also just the fact that they want their cast members to be severely injured. I mean, we had that set that was an ice, wasn't it like a little ice fishing
there was
pool
an ice
or something
pit
in between them that they could fall into? And then
there was like a water pit last year.
Was it last year?
I think it was last year.
And then,
oh no, you know what? Maybe it was 2 years ago.
I think it was supposed to be the ice cave or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was very dangerous. And then this year they have a gigantic anchor, like a life-size anchor, draped off the table for some reason, off the coffee table. I guess because it's supposed to be a shipwreck in Bermuda that got...
Oh, did someone make a perfume out of that table yet?
Say it again.
Did someone make a perfume out of that table yet?
Shipwreck perfume. But stop trying to kill your cast. Like, geez. Hazard pay. Okay, so Andy's like, "Oh, hi, Meredith. You brought your purse? That is good. That is good, Meredith."
And also, by the way, there was Heather, Lisa, and Whitney were in the elevator holding hands. And Whitney's like, "Archangel Michael, please protect us." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'm sure this is top priority for Archangel. Archangel.
But also she said Michaels, which I thought was funny. She
now that
she was
great.
Like, "Archangel Michaels, please help us." Like, is it the last name? Is this a different Archangel?
No, it's the store.
Like, yeah, and also Archangel Hobby Lobby, okay? I love them.
Please send us some pussy willow sprigs to decorate our sofas for the reunion. Save us.
And then she gets to check out and she's like, "Pussy willow sprigs, you exploited my pussy willow sprigs for your receipt."
When was the last time you said pussy willow? Gosh.
I avoid that one. I don't like saying that.
Yeah, I don't know what came over me. It just doesn't feel right in 2024 to be referencing pussy willow.
Pussy willow, change your name already, okay? Yeah,
it's time for a rebrand. It's time for a rebrand. So
yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Meredith comes on stage with a purse. And she's like, "Well, I brought a purse because I have a lot of notes, and also I have some emergency baby food in case my toddler Brooks shows up. So some Gerber in there in tow."
So everyone starts showing up to the set, and Andy's like, "Oh my God, you're wearing clothes too. Wow." And then Heather gets her main seat, but then we get Survivor drums as Monica comes. It's like,
so good.
And we see Monica coming down in her Koa dress, presumably.
And she comes down the staircase. I firmly believe that Bravo built that staircase just that way she could come down it. Like, this is not a 2-story set, but they were like, we need her to have
exactly
a dramatic, like, we can't afford a grand staircase, but we can afford a rickety staircase. So let's give her
those
that.
Were 100% backstage, like stairs to the flies, you know, or the lighting grid or whatever in theater. Like,
that
there's no
100%.
dressing room up there.
It's like, yeah, that is 100% what that was. So then we see the control room. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push 1. Go, Andy. Hey! Welcome back to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 reunion. I'm Andy Cohen, still reeling from an explosive season and jaw-dropping finale that left us all feeling trapped in the Devil's Triangle. So, by the way, question for the Devil's Triangle. How big are your boobs?
The devil, who it turns out went to the triangle to get its eyes done. Love your eyes. eyes.
Devil's Triangle, more like Devil's Big Circles, big jugs, the Devil's Jugs.
So he tells them, wow, I've heard that none of you have been together as a group since filming stopped. And Monica's like, well, I feel like they were together without me. Oh, really? Are we going to start on this victim note? Like, you just can't imagine why nobody would want to hang out with poor Monica.
I know. And he's like, yeah, right. That's what I'm pointing out. We talk slowly
Monica,
like that.
You're here. And the point is up here above your head, okay? You need to go to the Bermuda Triangle and get the point lowered. Okay, get it lowered.
Well, we have a lot to go through tonight, and we will get into what happened at the finale. But before we get into the season, I want to mention the Jen Shaw of it all. She's rotting in jail somewhere. If anyone wants to join me all together, ha, ha, ha. Anyone?
So they're saying, were you worried about doing the show without Jen? And Heather's like, I was just worried that people were going to be addicted to the level of toxicity. No one watches these shows for toxicity. Meanwhile, their ratings just probably broke their record.
Yeah.
Because of basically the toxicity. Okay, listen.
Literally the most toxic.
It's like I tell M&Ms, I'm with you for the toxicity. Don't come out with an organic M&M. I'm never going to fucking eat it. I'm into you for the artificial flavors. Okay, that's why I want you.
Is there an M&M an organic M&M on the horizon?
No, but don't fucking do it.
Don't do it.
You know it's coming. Don't you feel like it's coming?
There probably is going to be some sort of annoying M&M, but you know
we
what?
Can't say Pussy Willow anymore. Next thing they're going to do is fucking make M&Ms organic.
First they came for the Pussy Willow, then they came for the M&Ms. I'm just gonna say M&Ms as much as possible because apparently we mentioned Pepto-Bismol at one point, and Pepto-Bismol sent us care packages as a thank you, which we didn't even realize we were doing. So I'm just hoping that if I say M&M enough, that we get an M&M care package also. So I'm gonna put that out into the universe.
Pepto also gave me a karaoke mic, so
they did.
It's like I have the
rose gold
and love to sing.
Yeah. This way.
Well, why did I say that?
No,
you know what? How are we supposed to shout out Pepto-Bismol without talking about pooping?
Listen, no, it's saying, look, now because you don't have to go to the bathroom, you can sing your songs.
I'll sing it on the pot. It's a karaoke. I think it's a karaoke mic that I can do that with. I'm not above singing on the pot. Why the hell not?
I feel like having a karaoke mic, a wireless karaoke mic near the pot is not always a great idea. I don't think that needs to be broadcast. Echo. Line.
So it's Whitney.
I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the line.
Can we start that again?
Is that the mic? Is that the mic responding to Whitney? The mic becomes
forgetting its line too in the toilet.
The mic, as spoken by Chris Samuels, has become sentient
in the toilet. Okay, no need trying to save that one, everybody. Let's just move on.
We're gonna put that one on social, everyone. So Heather,
no one wants to hang out with Monica after finding out that she was reality Von Teese, and she's shocked, you guys. So Andy's like, yeah, that's the point. So he goes, okay, well, we'll get into what happened after the finale, but before the season, I have to mention the Jen Shaw of it all. Oh, I already asked this question. We've answered it. Let's move on. Thank you again, Pepto-Bismol. Love your boobs. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Monica stepped out and rented a Range Rover right into drama with the 1%.
And so we see a video package of Monica's life and everything, which sort of ends with Lisa being like, she just wants to be me. So Andy's like, do you want to be Lisa? She's like, no, girl.
What a question.
So, do you want to be Lisa Monica?
And so Andy's like, well, you know what's good? My voice is now suddenly very Andy. You know, I thought it was really touching and honest when you cried to your mom about worrying about feeling left out and the labels and buying the purse. Well, was that important for you to share? Andy, it was not touching. It was hilarious. Please do not make this seem like it was a vulnerable moment. When you cried about that purse, I just want to fit in. I bought Louis Vuitton purse. I just want to fit in. That was one of the most ridiculous moments of the season.
And one of the best too. And I love it. It's like, why was that important to share? Because that's why you hired her. It's her storyline. She's the poor one. Okay. Are we pretending we haven't been here before? So she's like,
It wasn't about the bag. It was about entering this group of women as an outsider looking in because they look flawless and their homes are beautiful and they're married and their kids are successful. And you just look at it from the outside and you're like, what am I bringing? I'm just a whore. I'm a whore who's gone through divorce and I live in a 3,000 square foot home.
okay, so Monica is doing
my
this whole thing
God.
where she's like, look at me, I'm just going to be so honest that it hurts. But then in my research of looking up stuff for the timeline, her home is 1,200 square feet, not 3,000. So why are you acting like, oh my God, look at me, just the poor one, but then over doubling the size of your house in your example? Very confused.
She's like, listen, I don't want people to think I'm Gina poor. So
It's like,
I'm a whore, a kind of semi-poor whore. Richer than Kirchenschnauder, but still.
I never said I was the best mother in the world. Give me some credit for trying. So, I mean, the fact that she said that I'm just some whore with 4 children and divorced, I was like, oh my God, please just inject it into my veins. So,
seriously, I mean, this really is good. This
is like some of the best.
Been fantastic.
This is like made for the gays, by the gays.
Icon. This is icon. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
icon. I'm shaking. I'm trembling right now. Ben, hold on. I'm trembling.
Come on. Give her a float. So Andy's like, so why were you so annoyed about Lisa carrying on about the $60,000 ring? I mean, I have to assume if you had lost a ring, LOL, like your chime card could afford it, you'd be freaking out about it too. And she's like, oh, Lisa. She's like, Lisa had like every right to be upset about like losing her ring, but like what I didn't like was like $60,000.
Oh, yeah. You'd be upset that you lost something that costs more than your house, woman in a shoe. Okay. And I only said price. I only said the price 3 times. And, you know, like, here's why it's a big deal. Okay. It's a big deal. Henry almost died after we had him. And John gave me that because I didn't know if I could have more kids. And I know it's more than just a ring. It's a Henry ring. I look at it and I think of my 2 beautiful babies. Hold on. Andy, could you open a window?
There's nothing better than Lisa Brello. By the way, there is nothing funny about almost losing your child. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing because it's like, I only bragged about my $60,000 ring 97 times because of a trauma. Lisa, seriously? I love that did they even show the clip of her just going, oh my God, where's my ring? It's 60,000. It's 60,000. Remember when she, like, we're leaving the airport and she made the crossing guard? She's like,
Yes.
Officer, I lost my ring. It was 60,000.
It's like, leave the fucking crossing guard of the airport alone, ma'am.
Yeah, what you're supposed to say is it's $20. No one steals it if they find it. So Monica's like, well, girl, that was like beautiful, girl. I didn't know that. And Lisa's like, well, it was no one's business. Ha. And Monica's like, well, I'm just saying. And she's like, I was stressed because to me, it's a symbol. Ha. And Monica's like, well, you know, like I thought you had said that you had just bought it though. Like, what are you even talking about? She's like, no, I said it was sentimental. Ha. Like my first can of Diet Coke.
Actually, how she says it, she goes,
It was sentimento. It was sentimento.
I love Lisa's accent coming in sometimes. Like there are some things where it's like sentimento. The fuck? So then she's like,
Listen, here's the thing. I get different rings for different things at different times. And that was not what I just gotten. Okay? That was not what I just gotten. Okay? These are the ones I just gotten. These are the ones.
she holds up her hand.
Yes.
She's got all these brand new diamonds. I love that Lisa's like, it was just trauma. Now these are non-trauma diamonds.
Yeah, like how could you accuse me of being materialistic? These are the rings I have that are new. That one was sentimental. I'm not materialistic at all. Also, what is this country song that she came up with? I get rings for different things at different times. That I was like, I'm just waiting for like a little guitar on the side, you know, and a little ditty.
That one I had just gotten. That one I had just gotten.
I get different rings for different things. It's sort of like I got friends in low places, I guess, in my mind. I get rings for different things. I love that.
So then Monica's like,
Well, at the airport, like, he's asking me a question. I'm saying that's why I was annoyed, because you kept saying 60, 60, 60.
and Lisa's like,
I was like, listen, I was like very stressed. And so for me, it was like more than just a ring. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm not relatable to the middle class, or that like, I think that I'm part of the 1%. Like, who am I to do percentages? What is middle? Middle class are poor people, right?
It doesn't mean I'm not relatable to the middle class. I understand things like, having Toyota Tercels and, white refrigerators and, shopping at Kirkland. That's a place, right? I understand these things. I'm totally relatable.
One time, I stole a pair of roller skates to trade it for a loafer of bread for my family. So, I got it.
Sometimes I go to Panera Bread and just give out quarters to people waiting in line. I totally relate to the middle class.
So Monica's like,
Well, you're right about that. I never said you're one part of the 1%. You're right.
she goes,
Oh, okay. Oh, so now you're trying to dig at me?
and she's like,
No, what? Yeah, I'm just trying to say, like, I did research and now I understand the 1%. Like, why are you saying I'm trying to ding you?
like stabbing someone and then being like, what? How could you accuse me of something? I mean, this lady
'cause-
really is kind of perfect for this.
I know. And she's like, no, she's like,
Girl, I did research on like what the 1% is. Like the 1% is like Shaquille O'Neal.
I was like, really? Like, everyone just laughs because it's such a bizarre reference for the 1%. Like, yes, he is the 1%, but like Shaquille O'Neal, and everyone just is like, okay. Heather's like, okay, yeah, I'm glad Shaquille O'Neal got into the 1%. Not my financial guru, like Jeffrey Bezos. Sure. Shaquille O'Neal, why not?
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal is rich as fuck, and he's still doing like huge campaigns. So don't know why everybody's dissing Shaquille. Okay, the Shaq
I know.
has still got it going on. Okay, he's still on television hawking something.
He's talking basketball.
Oh
As
yeah,
is
he
his
does. I
specialty.
wouldn't know. I don't pay attention. This is my.
You're like, I love his cooking show.
No, he is in some like commercial right now. I forget what it is.
He's always in commercials. He does Icy Hot, and he's always doing like, I'm Shaquille O'Neal for. It's always something random, like Sir Tiles or M&M's.
Oh my God, do not go organic. Okay, so Andy's like, so, Monica, where do you think the rumors came from that you stole the ring? And we say, boom, deux moi. Allegedly, all the snowflakes are sure that the broke snowflake stole the piece of snowflake jewelry in the snow from snowballs and flakes of snow. Ding, ding, ding.
And so she's like, I think it started over there, meaning the other couch. And Lisa's like, nah, it didn't start with me. Because I'm in the 1%, so I can't be bothered with this, right? So, and Heather's like, what, you think that I started the rumor? That's horrifying.
And Monica says, yes, she thinks it's Lisa and Heather. And she's like,
Let me ask you this. Why didn't you go online when you saw all the rumors started and say, I don't think Monica did that?
because they had already shot with you and no
They
one's
hated
going
you?
to come stand up for you online. What are you talking about? Why in the world
Like-
would she?
I mean, it is so rich. And this point is sort of like nailed home a little bit later, but it is so rich that here's Monica, part of some sort of troll account cabal that has spent 4 years putting out videos about Jen Shaw and saying all this other stuff about the cast. And now here she is being like, rumors about me. Like, I can't believe these vicious rumors about me. Like, it is so rich. And by rich, I mean, Monica rich.
It's not really
Not
Lisa
Gina
Barlow
Rich.
rich, but it's up there.
It's like 70% rich. And the 70% percentile, wait, how's it go? 70 percentile is high. 1% in non-percentile is high. I'm gonna stop. Echo.
Line.
So I got confused. I was like, finances, no. So Lisa's like, that's not my job to do that. And Heather goes, maybe I didn't stand up for you because that's what I thought. But I didn't say it. Monica's like,
Thank you for admitting that you think that I would steal something.
And Lisa's like, what? There are people that like watch your behavior. And Monica's like,
Yeah, you would think that like I would steal like a $60,000 ring from y'all.
I'm like, literally, Monica, yes. I mean, your storyline is that you're poor and you've gotten off by getting like justice against all these women, specifically Jen Shaw, but it seems like you've gotten off with like unmasking the other women too. So yeah, it does. Like, I'm not saying I believe it, but like, it's not a wild thought. Like, a lot of people came to that conclusion that Monica stole the ring without having to read a gossip rag. A lot of people are like, well, Monica probably stole it.
Yeah, I think that Monica's gotten in a lot of trouble for stuff this year, but I don't think she stole.
I don't think she stole it either. I don't think
I
she
didn't
would do
think
that.
that.
But
And when I
I'm just saying,
first read it, I was like, "Ew, how dare you!" From people commenting about that online. That said, it was a lot of comments of people like, "Of course, the poor person stole it," which is,
mean to poor people.
horrible. Have none of you seen Les Miserables? Like, can we please get some like?
That's a terrible
empathy in here?
example. That's a terrible example. That's literally built a story about a guy who steals a loaf of bread.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying, well, but that means you're suggesting that she stole a loaf of ring.
Well, I'm saying you should be more empathetic, even if people did steal something. Like, haven't we learned empathy? Like, Les Miserables, like feel things for people who need the bread. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
that's what.
okay, I get it. Listen,
24601.
I don't think she stole. I really don't think she stole it, but I don't think it was like a crazy theory for some people. Like, I just
don't think anybody should expect anyone in the cast, after what we just saw in the season finale, to come be like, "Oh wow, Monica would never,"
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Give it a minute.
So Lisa's like, she's like, first of all, my ring was $58,000, just to be clear. So $50,000.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa. That took you out of a bracket there. Thank you. So I'm really down to 2%. I'm like $2,000 less, worth $2,000 less. So just putting that out there. I'm no Shaquille O'Neal, and like it just like doesn't feel the same. Like, I've got a new one, doesn't feel the same. I don't think it's the same. It looks good. I liked my other one. I want my other one back. Okay.
Well, plus taxes. So then that's probably like what, $580? So it was like $59.80. So close, but still not 60. I really missed a 60 ring. That was $60,000.
I love this show because they're all wrong and they're all right. It's
Yeah.
like you want to stick up for Lisa, but God, she is an asshole. And it is nice to see Monica calling her out the whole season, because that behavior was fucking annoying when she kept sobbing and throwing a fit about her damn $60,000 ring.
Yeah. So Monica's like, why are you looking at me when you say that? Okay, this is really damaging. It's easy and it's stereotypical. And Lisa's like, what's stereotypical about it? She's like, okay, go ahead and laugh, Angie, because Angie's on the side, but like, ha 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 ha. I'm Greek.
She's like, it is not stereotypical big mouth. And Monica's like,
Laugh it up, Angie. You're going to say I stole your ring because I have less than you, so I'm going to steal?
and she goes, she didn't even say you stole it. She's like,
Oh, why are you talking? Shut up. Why are you even talking, you bench-warming bitch?
I'm like, whoa.
Oh, wow. And she's like, really? You're so classy, Monica. You're classy.
Kappa, classy, Monica.
You really think you're classy, but guess what's classical? Greek culture.
This doesn't involve you, just like most of the season.
And she's like, what did she say? And Heather's like, she said like the rest of the season. She says, oh, but she talked about me from the beginning to the end. I made a Greek salad with my Greek father. How dare you?
Monica's like,
Lisa, I never took your ring, girl. And I didn't even go into that bathroom until like 20 to 30 minutes after you lost your ring. Girl.
Well, early on, you talked about your connection with Jen Shaw. Monica, were you friends with Jen Shaw? And she's like, well, I would describe it as we were friends first, and then I was like, quote unquote, working for her, and then I guess enemies.
So what did you specifically do for her? What was your job exactly?
Honestly,
Okay, when Monica starts with the honestly, which she does every time, just note it and validate it. And I think it's when most of us say honestly. I think that is definitely...
it's like the most dishonest precursor of all time.
Yeah.
Honestly.
honestly. everything in her life. Like looking back and knowing everything that I know now, I mean, I like get it, because like I think I was more of a friend, I was really a good friend to her. Like I would go get her groceries. I would make sure she was on time for her meetings.
It's like literally never had a friend who did that. You were working for her. Just say you were working for her. You can't have it both ways. You can't come on the show saying, "Oh, I used to work for Jen," and then be like, "I didn't work for her."
I also love that she's saying, yeah, my job was, I basically was just a friend to her, while she's like actively trolling her and using all the content like against her on a burner account. Like that is what's so funny about her saying that for me. And
because it was literally at this moment that she was doing all that stuff. Like right when she started with them. I mean, the timeline was it was like September when she supposedly met all them at Meredith's store, I think is the first solid timeline we have. And then by November, she had created the Reality Von Teese account. So, I mean, she was already, you're right. She's like,
I was just like a friend to her, running her groceries while I was posting her abusive things online, which again, this is always tricky, right? Because it's like you're a hero in a way for posting all of that Jen shit. Because Jen, let's never underestimate in all of this what a fucking monster Jen is.
But it's weird because, so then Andy basically is like, and Andy says, was the show filming? And she says, yeah, you guys had already filmed season 1. And he goes,
I think. She's like,
I
I think maybe you had already started film.
You didn't know? Jen Shaw didn't let you know? Okay.
You know. And then Andy was like, was she paying you? And she goes, no. And he's like, so you were taking time away from your kids for a job that didn't pay? And Monica was like, yeah. So it's just so funny because Monica, at a different part of the season, she uses that like you don't know what it's like to be abused, be abused when you're not even getting paid, and almost suggesting like the abuse was that she wasn't getting paid. Like I was going through all this stuff and I wasn't even getting paid. Like that's abuse. But here she's saying it like, yeah, no, I wasn't being paid. I just did it because I was being a friend to her. It was like a weird, strange take she has on this.
Well, she's trying for some reason not to say she was actively one of Jen's employees for whatever reason, even
Maybe
though she
like
said it
thing.
multiple times. Yeah, I don't know if it's a legal thing, like she'll get in trouble for saying that she actually made money from Jen because that was ill-gotten gains. So I don't know.
Maybe she's afraid it'll get taken away.
Right. So I don't know. And that's just a guess. I have no idea. But it is weird that she keeps waffling on that throughout the season because... And this is just something online. I don't even think it was from the show. I don't remember, so maybe I shouldn't say it. But I thought one of her things was like Jen was always behind paying them. Like she owed them a bunch of money or something, the employees.
Right.
But
yeah,
that could be.
And it's weird because there was an argument in the season where Monica said, like, I didn't work for Jen. Like, you have to get paid to work for someone. So now she's saying I did work for her, but I wasn't getting paid. So
right.
I don't know.
So let's see here. So Andy talks about the connection with Jen, blah, blah, blah. She thinks they were filming. She wasn't paid. I just put she's lying. And then Monica says, honestly, yeah, she was just my friend. So Heather's like, oh, so you didn't just think that you were going to be like Kim Kardashian, who started out as an assistant and then look where it got her. So I'll be an assistant too. Like, well, that's like literally not terrible, though. I don't know what the accusation is. There are probably a lot of people who did that.
I know. It's like saying like, oh, so you're saying you want to put yourself on a trajectory? Really?
So you made an effort to get one of your goals?
You made an effort to take an entry-level job hoping that it would elevate you onto a career path? Wow.
And so Heather's like, actually, I would like to hear something that you said. And she reaches under both of it's like when we wake up in the middle of the night, we forget which pillow we put the phone under. You know, you're like, but she finds it and she whips it out. And Monica's like, oh, I would love for you to read it. I'd love it. And Andy's like, oh my God, it's an audio recording. And
a good quality one, too, I'd like to add, by the way. Well done, Heather. Well done.
It is very good. And it's I believe that these were in the Tanisha leaked voice notes, voice memos or whatever, because she sent Tanisha a bunch, and Tanisha saved them all and released them last week. So this is one of them. It's not the ones that I have, but it says,
Fucking Kim Kardashian? What? She was the fucking assistant. And I take one look at that bitch. Now I can fully admit I was putting up with that shit as a stepping stone. Yeah, girl. Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is really the end solving the mystery. Are you saying that you wanted to be like Kim Kardashian? No. Here's the audio.
I'm just like Kim Kardashian.
I know. And then Andy's like, and this proves what exactly? She was doing it to get on the show. And I was like,
She's like,
that's exactly it.
Yes. So before we go on with this, do you want to hear? Let's listen to the voice recordings that Tanisha released. It's weird to start because they're all kind of lumped together with no context. And at first, I don't really know what they're talking about, but it's still fun to listen to all of them. Just because it's, I don't know, because
it is kind of wild. It's 1 minute and 51 seconds worth. If you don't want to listen to voicemails, just hit fast forward a few times. But they're interesting because when you hear them, you're like, oh, what interesting foreshadowing for what happens on the season. Okay, I'm gonna hit play.
Girl, I know. That's exactly why I called her a snake. Like, you dumb bitch. Like, low-key, I want to DM Mary from, like, a burner account. She probably wouldn't ever see it. And just be like, bitch, I could do it from Reality Von Teese. Okay? But anyway, because she'd be watching that shit, and she would open our messages and just be like, just so you know, Jillian, one of our followers fucking said that she said everything. Just so you fucking know. Bitch, that girl is a fucking dirty rat. She's a rat. One of these types of things. Bravo will not touch you again with a 10-foot pole. And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm not trying to ruin my credibility or name or future like that. Bitch, what happens if fucking Lisa Barlow or Meredith Marks somehow, we don't know, okay, we got in with Jen, we would never be able to do that again. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, my goal is to be a star, bitch. Kind of joking, but also kind of serious. Like, I don't want to ruin my chances for ever being on a Bravo show. Hello. No! You guys, I think I might drive up to Park City because the movers are coming today. What do you guys think? Should I do it to record for, like, BTS Reality Von Teese footage?
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. So that's her, saying she's going to go do the stalking Jen Shaw thing for the BTS footage. Dron.
So I think for me personally, the most damning part about that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like, oh, this is not a good look. But the thing that's most damning is when she literally says, I think we should make a burner account and message Mary. And I could just do it with Reality Von Teese. But she's basically saying, like, let's make a burner account, message Mary, and we'll say that one of our followers said this and da-da-da-da-da-da. But, like, she expresses, like, clearly this isn't her pattern of behavior. Even though she jokes about it in the season, like, that's something I would do. But, like, she literally would do it. She literally would come up with a burner account to get some information out there. And that's really damning, vis-a-vis the Greek mafia fight the great Greek mafia fight of 2023.
Now, isn't it? It's also just listening to those and watching this show. It really is kind of amazing in a way because you can hear the excitement in her voice. I mean, she is just thrilled. And also she's doing this with her friends. Presumably these are, I guess they are, not presumably, they are all to Tanisha that Tanisha saved, but they're doing, it's like they have a group project. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I work for her now. And now we're getting all this secret footage of her. And now we have this secret account. Oh my God. Should I go get secret footage in front of her house for the secret? It's like
Mean Girls.
It's Looney Tunes, but it's also a group event. I feel like things feel less crazy when you're in a group. Like when you look at a cult, You know how
Oh,
last year was all
go
cult
on.
documentaries, or Mormonism, or this show is kind
Or
of
season
about
2.
cultism.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
or season 2 of this show with Mary. Go on.
Oh yeah, it's been in the pop culture in the pop culture. We are a pop icon a lot lately, cults, and they seem less crazy. I think when you watch these documentaries because people are in a group, and it just feels less nuts when you're in a group. And I think that you can really hear it, and in a way, I'm like happy for her because she's just so excited, and they have a group project, and like they're doing so good. I mean, they've made it this far. They're taping Jen. She has no idea. They're posting all this stuff. No one has any idea. I mean, must be so thrilling for her and them to be getting away with all this stuff. And now, fast forward, she's got the first seat on this show that she's been trying to worm her way into this whole time. And people hate her, and people are, telling her off the whole time. But she's literally the entire reunion. I mean, listen, no matter what you think, well done on your goals.
Well, that's why I said it's like Mean Girls, like the story of Mean Girls. I'm not saying that I'm not being literal like Mean Girls. I'm like the actual movie Mean Girls, right? Is that like Katie is like an outsider, and then she and like the outsiders are all like infiltrate the cool girls, and then she does, and then she gets in too deep. And like that's literally what happened here. Like, I don't like, the stuff when she's like, I'm going to be a star, or like, I'm not going to do something that would stop me from being on Bravo. That it all sounds kind of like wild. I don't necessarily hold that against her because, hello, that's the origin story of every single Real Housewife. Like, you don't some of them wind up on the show by accident, like Jenna Lyons or something, where they don't really know what they're doing. But like, they all, you can't act like all these people are not like praying that they get picked up again for another season. Like they all want to be on Bravo. They all want to be a star.
I mean, all of the shows. I mean, my God, especially right now that we've got a glaring example of is Southern Charm. I mean, Southern Charm, you've got JT who had his ex who was on TikTok saying, oh yeah, JT has been stalking these people for years. Like he literally lived in like a van down by the river or something. And tried to infiltrate this friend group to the point where he got on the show, so.
Right. I guess maybe where the line is that like people want to be stars and they want to be on Bravo. But in the case of Monica, she faked it to get that far. But the weird thing with Monica is that faking it is her most authentic self, right? Like the most authentic version of Monica is that she fakes her way through life, right? She changes her name. She has all these stories. She is kind of like a conner. She is like a professional internet troll. Okay, like her faking her way onto Bravo is the realest thing that Monica can do.
Yeah, and there's all these books that have come out, like Brian Moylan's book and Dave's from People Magazine. Dave, why can't I come up with Dave's last name from People Magazine? Anyway, I love you, Dave. We'd love you. The behind the scenes books on the Real Housewives, like Not All Is Diamonds and Rosé is his book. And then Brian Moylan's book that was like behind the scenes of all that and all these interviews and all this stuff and all this effort people are making to putting like a behind the scenes of a reality show. Here it is. It's like,
honestly,
oh my God, that's a lot of work to get on, So no matter what you really think of Monica, at some point you just have to be like, yay, you know what? It's a new year and we can all give you a pat on the back for like goal achieving.
Yeah. So Andy is like, okay, so he's like, so were you being Jen's assistant to get on the show? And Monica's like, well, first of all, I didn't even think I would even ever wind up on the show, but like, why wouldn't I try to get on the show? Okay, I applied like everyone else. And then like Heather's like, she's like, well, I'm clarifying that I don't think you were a friend. I think you had an agenda. Which, hello, like, welcome to your show. Everyone on this show has an agenda. This is one of the most agenda-y shows on Bravo. They always have an agenda on this show. So
Monica's like, no, I didn't. When I met Jen, I didn't even know she was on the show. I didn't even know.
Which Yeah.
That's
Come
bullshit.
on now. Do you think Jen kept that a secret from anybody that she was on the show?
Yeah, look,
come on.
I mean, we definitely just like let Monica off the hook. We're like, look, she's just doing fulfilling the American dream, but also Monica is full of shit too.
Well, it's
acting like she
both
didn't
things.
know.
You know what I mean? It's all things at once. That's the tricky thing about Monica. It's like she's an asshole. Like you can see everything that she's doing. You can see her compulsively lying. You can see all this stuff. But we've said it a million times this season. Like at the same time, she's still also a really charismatic person. And you're rooting for her. You know what I
Like
mean?
to die for. She's like Nicole Kidman and to die for. So Andy's like, well, as the situation went on with her, are you comfortable saying that you thought, oh, maybe I'll get on the show as a result of it? And Monica's like, she's like, honestly, when I applied to get on the show, I applied like everyone else. And Angie's like, I did not apply. I was referred through DemeterCasting.net. Aphrodite casting offices.org.
Lisa's like, oh yeah, and I helped bring the show to Utah, so I didn't apply either.
It's like, okay, well, whatever. Like anyone now would have to apply. So that's what I did.
And Heather's like, but how? And Andy says, so you talked to casting? And she says, I emailed. And then she does the finger typing. She's like,
I emailed casting, just like everyone else did.
and Heather goes, oh, really? And what did you say in casting? Obviously leading the witness, you know?
Yes.
And Monica falls for it.
Yeah.
Every time. She's like,
Mommy said my name is Monica Fowler. And your show is shit, and your ratings suck, and it's gonna get canceled because you don't have the right cast. Bitch, that's what I said. And fuck you too. And you're ugly, you old fucking stupid show. Your fucking kinkles are falling below your feet, stupid.
So that elicits a reaction from Andy. Andy has sort of like a whiplash reaction that he does every now and then, where he like whips his head back and he sort of blinks 3 times, like, whoa, I can't believe you would say that. So yeah, Michael's like, yeah, you didn't have the right cast, and he goes, oh, so did it suck? The ratings sucked, and then we see on screen it says Monica's actual email, which is like,
Hi, reaching out in regards to your casting call. I would love more information on what needs to be done or like how to move forward. And like, you guys need a feisty, excommunicated Latina on the show immediately. I'm your girl.
it's like very nice. And by the way, it was also, she sent this email in November 2021. That was in the middle of season 2 of the show, which season 2 was an epic season. That was the season where Jen Shaw got arrested and everyone was riveted watching it. So when she says the show was boring and was doing poorly in the ratings, like it clearly was not when she did this.
right. And this is also, this email is November 1st, I believe they say. November 1st of what, 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a year after she started, or they started, whoever started, all of them started the Reality Von Teese account. It's like exactly a year later almost.
Add that to the timeline.
Yeah. So let's see here. So this was the same month Koa was video. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Andy has a lot of viewer questions. He's like, so a lot of people had a question about your friend in the Secret Service telling you there's an active case against Sean. She goes, that is not what he said. He goes, okay, what did he say?
He did not say there was an active case. He said, you better get away from Jen Shaw because she's going to prison.
Okay, well, I mean, tomato. You know what I mean?
And her ratings are terrible. And
she's old.
So Andy's like, well, how did you go from there to being an informant? She goes,
Well, girl, I talked to federal investigators.
and he's like, did you reach out to them? She's like,
I did, girl. I said, your organization is stupid and dusty and old. You haven't found a criminal in like 45 years. You need a feisty, excommunicated Latina right now. God.
It's like, you guys, nobody trusts your organization anymore. You really need some fresh blood. Like, the FBI is like so old and tired and stupid, and everybody hates it.
Yeah, you lost a lot of credibility with all those warnings on VHS tapes. So come on, you need some help.
And he's like, so you did reach out to them? And she goes,
Yes, and I was like, I have info about your case, you know? I did that. I call that doing the right thing. And I think that everyone here should have probably done the right thing too.
she makes like this The smug.
I love when she tries to take a moral high ground. So then Andy asks how her famous affair started, which then leads to another Monica monologue / deflection because she never actually answers this question. I'll let you take this one, Ronnie, because every time I do Monica's voice, I feel like my insides are going to fall out.
They probably are, and probably dogs in everyone's neighborhood are barking like crazy. Oh, for both of us. So Andy's like, we want to know when the affair with your brother-in-law started. And she's like,
Okay, well, first of all, I need to start by saying that happened like over a decade ago. And as far as everyone here, especially Heather, has had very deep conversations with me about how painful that was. And you guys, you guys were like wonderful. So thank you. Love you guys. I'm so glad to be part of this sisterhood. But anyway, it's not about bragging about having an affair or being excommunicated, because I had a scarlet letter and I still do. Like, I was rebaptized. I went through the whole rebaptism process in the church.
like, well, I
How did it start?
earned it. Like, what do you want me to say? And then Heather's like, yeah, I mean, she really did cry when we talked about it because it really is unfair. This is kind of my wheelhouse, and I've written a book. So I'm not really sure if you guys have heard of it. Bad Mormon. HarperCollins, out now.
Yeah, her friend said that you read the Bible every single day. I'm like, you guys, this is fine. How did the affair start? I want to know how this happened.
Okay, let me tell you how the affair started. They kicked me out of Mormonism, and then I wrote them an email, and I was like, your church sucks, and your membership numbers are shit, and Mormonism is going to get canceled because it's old and ugly. Girl.
So Andy's like, he's like, are you in touch with the former brother-in-law? And she's like, no. And he asks if like the brothers are strange, and it's like, it wasn't like her ex's brother, it was her ex's sister's brother, etc. And
He goes, well, that's better.
It is?
well, that it didn't
that?
fully destroy a family. I guess.
I mean,
guess
it
that's
was it was the brother's sister's husband. How did it not?
Well, because if it had been the brother's brother,
I'm very bad at family trees, though.
The reason why it's better is that, like, if it had been the brother's brother, then you have an issue in family, okay? But if it was also the in-law of the brother, then it's like, well, the brother and the sister both drop their spouses and they, persevere onwards as happy siblings. I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah, Monica, another interesting thing about her was that she was with the husband, I guess, for a long time after this. So I guess he did forgive her, or they got back together after this, because they filed divorce 4 years after they got married. But then she just filed again in June of 2023, and it just finalized this October, which was a couple months ago, this past October.
It feels so long ago. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I seem to remember Monica saying, like, I was with this guy, and then we got divorced, then we got back together, and it just seems like all those details that felt like, were going to be so important to know throughout the whole season. It's just like they just fell by the wayside because there were such bigger things, But the affair, of course, is part of that. We held on to that, but it's hard to remember all the way back to that first episode. But anyway, Andy's basically like, listen, give yourself a little bit of grace. You didn't fully destroy a family. And Monica's like, she starts saying how, like, everyone's hearing about it for the first time, and it's just crazy, and I'm reliving it, and I'm constantly being called a whore online. Like, comments are really nasty. They're just nasty. They're just wild, these comments. Which she doesn't realize the irony of her saying this whatsoever. His computer is having an issue. Oh, he's back. Guess who's back? Ronnie's back.
Oh
back
my gosh.
Again.
Well, we're going to pause for a sec because I have to press record, and then that's going to freeze everything again because, like, it's 1982 in my house.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, just so you know, I threw to part 2 during the freeze. I thought, well, this would be a good time to go to part 2.
Yeah, sorry for the editing over there, our Madame Christina, who helps us out, our beautiful Christina. Okay, Ben, I'm recording, and it seems like we're back. So guess what? Thanks for everybody for being here for my professionalism. Okay, blame the internet, blame Al Gore's internet for that shit.
We are back. We're back for part 2 of this recap. And where we were at, we had a little technical issue, which was perfectly timed, right? Like after an hour of the first episode, was Monica talking about how all the comments online about her affair have really, really hurt. They've really hurt her so much. And you could just feel Heather gearing up to make a point here. But Whitney does it first. She goes, yeah, it hits different when the internet comes after you and trolls come after you and golf carts come after you.
Especially when your daughter is driving them. It was awkward.
High
I
on
too.
soda.
Soda drug addict. They're like, you deserved it, bitch.
It's like her Bobby's like standing offline, like,
Don't fuck with me again. I'm 12.
Give me the Pibbs. Give me the Mr. Pibbs.
oh, so she's like,
I too have been called every name in the book. And then you get on a show and then the people come hard on you. You want to rethink that one? Yeah. Can we start again? You get on a show and people come really hard in you. Whitney.
Think about, okay, everyone's just like so in your face. They're just like coming in your face.
all right, that's officially too far. Just say you got on the show and the people come hard for you.
You exploited my vagina for your show.
And then Heather goes, the comments really hurt. Really hurt. And just sort of stares at Monica like, do you understand now why we hate you? She's just staring at Monica, hoping
I
that
love
Monica
the angry Heather
realizes.
squint.
It's lost on Monica. But it was a great squint.
Monica does not care. Yeah, it's a good squint. It's like the sucking in the cheek thing and like kind of like moving your tongue around, but like squinting at the same time. Like, how dare you, young lady? And Monica's like,
I don't care. I'm the star.
so Andy's like, well, when the SLC women vowed to start the year with fresh powder and fresh starts with powder in their starting. God, there's a lot of powder. Anybody want to do some coke? I'm sorry. That was a Kathy Griffin quote from a long time ago. I don't know her. What were we talking about? God, is that an anchor on that table? Where am I? Andy is just like staring at his watch already. He's like, get me out of here.
I know. He's like, it didn't take long for the women to draw lines in the snow, landing several friendships in hot water. Bath water, to be exact. And Meredith goes, how? She hasn't said anything this entire time. It's just like, it was like you've just opened your laptop and it's like whizzing up to speed. It's like, you have 3 messages. So now we have, so this was also shady. Now tell me if I messed this up. But we see like, it's like a 3-minute long package talking about all the feuds of the season. And we see Meredith versus Whitney. We see Lisa versus Meredith. We see Whitney. We see Whitney versus Lisa, Heather versus Whitney. And then it ends. Did I miss it? Did they not include Meredith versus Angie in this montage?
No, they didn't. And I think it's because they have a whole segment later where they get to that. So they didn't want to set Meredith off. I mean, Meredith has come with a purse full of like Kinko's printouts. Okay. They're like, do not trigger Meredith.
Or maybe it's just that this was like feuds amongst the original 4. But to me, it was like very funny that like they just like Angie just is such an afterthought by production at this reunion. Poor Angie. She was like a significant part of the season and they just don't even include her in this package. And she's like,
I know we come back from the package and they've put a tarp over Angie. She's just like a bird that is tweeting to
It's a packing tape and a sign that says not a seat.
I thought this was so funny because Whitney, so it ends with Lisa saying,
Wait a minute, you had a conversation with Heather that I'm self-absorbed and you're helping me be a better person?
and then Whitney, we come back and Whitney goes, wow,
Heather was really spinning that story, huh?
she's really spinning it. Oh my God, look who's talking. Whitney, we find out in the coming moments how terrible Whitney really is. I mean, thank God you are hilarious, okay? Because you are fucking terrible. And I think she gets away with so much just because she is like, oh, she just has that kind of wide-eyed, like dumb aspect
Just
of
pivots
her.
to the next thing.
Yeah.
She just goes, okay, just try something else out.
She starts so much shit based on lies. So Andy's like, okay, we started the season with our best friend duos back in action. So where do Meredith and Lisa stand right now?
Well, Andrew, we had a few bumps along the road for sure. It was a road with a precipitous cliff, and I'm sad to say our car nearly drove over. If it weren't for the quick thinking of our driver, we would have plummeted to our death 3 inches below. But luckily, we got through that bumpy road of friendship, and we're in a much better place, specifically my new rental, where my family and I are planning to chop a lemon after this reunion. Thank you.
We're in a much better place for sure, Andy. And where are Whitney and Heather? And she's like, I mean, listen, we just we're used to being on a show with just 4 people, so we'll fight whenever you need us to. Okay, just give us a call.
Just tell us. They're like, well, yeah, we're still just like working through some stuff. And Andy's like, well, Meredith, Whitney called you out for your extraneous excuses and watching the show back. Did it make you see? Could you see from Whitney's point of view that you were when you're backed in the corner, you tend to kind of deflect and, I don't know, somehow invoke random children who are ailing from things?
Actually, Andy, everyone on this show goes through things. Every one of us. For example, Whitney lost a friend, which was very sad. And how people could come for me after Whitney lost a friend is unquestionable. It is unquestionable.
I mean, Lisa cried about her makeup, and I respected that, even though it was a significantly more shallow reason to cry than a child who's suffering somewhere in the world. And I respect people's feelings, and I feel that mine are not given the same respect.
I thought for a second when she said, I mean, come on, Lisa crying about her makeup. She'll cry about her makeup. I respect that. I thought she was being like, oh God, look at Lisa. She cries over petty shit like, oh, my makeup. And then I remembered Lisa literally did have a huge breakdown and cursed out the entire staff of the show because she had to wear makeup at the Trixie Motel. I mean, this show.
Well, the rap on you is, did someone say rap? As I walk through the valley of the shadows of Diet Coke, I take a look at myself and say, where's the Taco Bell? Do you like that, Andy? That's my rap.
So they're trying to explain nicely to Meredith. They're like, well, you can see how it's perceived that you used trauma whenever you're in trouble, right? Even if it's not true. She's like,
Well, most of the women in this group don't care to ask me what I'm going through, so when I bring it up, they're shocked that I'm going through things, and it's horrible.
Yeah. And Whitney's like, by the way, I personally do care. She goes, and then Lisa goes, I see both sides. In some situations, I'm like, Meredith, like, where I'm like trying to do my best and like, it's like not being appreciated. Like when I'm just like trying to put on like designer clothing and they want me to wear drag clothes, like I'm just not appreciated. And in that regard, I see Meredith's side. But like sometimes I see how it can look like an excuse. And like now that we know that for you, this is important, I think that's fair. Like you see both sides too, right? And by the way, I like how Lisa's sort of like joining this bandwagon that's like, Meredith, like, how are we supposed to know? Like, Meredith is basically saying, well, this child, I learned about it that morning and I tried to keep it in and then it bubbled out. And they're like, well, how are we supposed to know? If you don't tell us, we don't know. And Lisa's joining on that when earlier in the episode, Lisa was like, well, it's my right not to tell you that ring had a sentimental value attached to it. They just keep on pivoting back and forth in their hypocrisy.
Meredith just keeps trying with this and they keep going,
But you understand, that is our perception about it. It's like, no, I don't need an excuse. I will just disengage. Roll my favorite clip.
watching herself on TV.
I am disengaging. I would like to sing along with this next clip on my Pepto-Bismol karaoke microphone.
God, I really do great work over the seasons. I have no problem walking out. Yeah, I'm disengaging. So Heather's like, oh, the Ice Queen has a heart. And we learned that this season. I am not going to engage with you calling me the Ice Queen. I never called myself the Ice Queen, and I will not say that I'm the Ice Queen. Thank you very much.
And Lisa is just not happy to let Andy get to this part. So Whitney's like, listen, bringing it up wasn't to hurt you. We were just saying, like, do you see what we're seeing as far as you bringing up traumas when other things... Mine. So Lisa's like,
You know what, Renee? The same can be said for you. Like when you lost your friend Sherry, I hugged you and I said, how are you? And you said you don't want to talk about it right now.
and then we see a clip, which this was
was
the biggest
wild
revelation to me. This was crazy that they just put this clip in and then just act like, haha, we're good at editing.
They did her so dirty.
They really did. And how rare is it to stand up for Lisa Barlow on these shows? I mean, she's ridiculous. Like, I feel like she's wrong most of the time, but wow, they really did her wrong. So we see the clip, and this is at the party, the Heather Bad Mormon party or whatever. No, this is the Whitney No. Which part? This is Meredith's jewelry party. This is a Meredith
jewelry party.
This is my new jewelry line.
Meredith Jewelry. And by the way, never mind. Meredith Jewelry. Go on.
And Lisa is the way we originally saw it was like,
Oh my God. Hi, Heather. Heather, I got you some gifts. Oh, hi, Whitney. Whitney with the dead friend. Oh my God, Heather, try on this necklace. Ha ha.
and like side hugging someone. But the real clip is her coming in kind of the same way and then turning to Whitney and going,
Oh, Whitney, how are you though? Are you okay, Whitney? Whitney,
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Hey,
Are you
Whitney.
okay? No, for real though. Are you okay?
Whitney.
And Whitney's like, She's like, no, you're not okay. You're not okay. You're not okay.
I know.
And then,
like, it's surreal. Like, I have the chills, Whitney. Like, are you okay? Are you? Tell me how you are. She goes,
No, I'm not okay, but I'm strong.
yeah. And so, I mean, Lisa gets this a little wrong because she's like, when we come back to the reunion, she's like, I hugged you. And then I asked if you're okay. Well, she didn't hug her. But she honestly did ask. She did like, it was not like, she definitely was like, hey, how are you doing? You know? And, she said that. And then Lisa goes, and on top of that, in Bermuda, you said I asked you how you were doing too many times. And then we see some more footage that we'd never seen before where Whitney is saying like, I felt like when you were asking me like if I was okay, that was like antagonizing me to not be okay. It's like, oh, okay, that is
what? Okay,
not
you're just
fair.
an asshole now. Come on. You're just being an asshole now. So Lisa's like,
yeah, but then if I don't say anything, I'm not checking on you. I'm like in a $0 on my Jack Finger situation, you know? No winning.
and Whitney, I just have to point out, Whitney looks crazy today. She's wearing some like ponytail on top of her head, and she's got so many cheap necklaces on. She's like a Mormon rapper. She's like 50 repent. Like, what are you doing? Why do you have so many thin
50
strings
repent
of
as
fake
played
gold?
by Anne Margaret. She
looks crazy.
50 repent. So that's good.
I just thought of that one. Listen, I'm getting so much older. The dad jokes are just, I don't even have to think about them first. They just start rolling off the tongue, guys.
You know what rapper she reminds me of? Eminem. Love those candies.
God, I want him.
Except the organic kind. Boo.
Ew.
So Lisa's like, okay, you know what? You were clearly triggered that I had gifts to give from the book signing. And Whitney, I am not wrong. I was dancing on eggshells, which I like that she wasn't just walking on eggshells. She was actually dancing on them. I dance because I'm a rapper now. So I was dancing on eggshells with you and I care about you. And my intention is not to hurt you or be dismissive.
No. Wait a minute. But can you see how it looked from my perspective?
Oh my God, Whitney,
about
did you pick
perspectives.
that up in a therapy? She's coming and saying that for every argument today.
But it's my perspective. I am allowed to have my perspective. Can we
She
start
just-
again?
She just saw a 3D depiction of a cube for the first time. Wow. Perspective.
She keeps trying
So-
to grab it.
She noticed the horizon for the first time. Wow. I always thought the road was a rectangle, but it's a triangle. No, that's perspective.
Yeah,
stop.
it's when
I'll
you
stop.
look
I'll see my
back
way
on
out
things
now.
from the
Goodbye,
past.
everyone.
That's a retrospective, Whitney. Okay. So Lisa's like,
No, you know what? Like, and also, did I give you any sign on the days leading up that I was not a friend to you? Like, from that party? Like, I was a friend before that party and I was still being your friend.
and she goes,
Well, yeah, but like then when you came to my house, you got distance from me because I called you out.
She goes, no, you didn't call me out. You chastised me.
I mean,
Which, by
okay,
the way,
again.
she didn't. She did not. Whitney did not. So now we support Whitney. Whitney did not chastise you. She said, "Please stop cursing. My kids are right there." Because Lisa was like, "And this fucking business that's happened with the fucking bullshit happening." I just choked on. I just choked on my Lisa Barlow impersonation. Everyone,
It'll do that.
I just choked on Barlow.
So Lisa is saying, you know, Whitney, there are so many things that I have to sweep under the rug with you just to pretend we're fine because you just can't take it. And Whitney's like,
Oh, yeah? Same. Can you see it from my perspective?
and she's like,
Wait, okay, then you know what? Go ahead, name one right now. What are they? What do we have to sweep? What do you have to sweep under the rug with me?
she's like,
No, I have hardwood floors.
and then we cut to commercial. Fucking love this show. Whitney trying to remember one example and she can't do it.
Wait, no. Here's one. Nutmeg. Oh, wait, no, that was on my list of favorite spices. What's going on?
You know what? I don't think that we did cut to commercial. I just, every time Whitney starts looking around like that, I feel like there's a commercial taking place in Whitney's head. It's like she just cuts to commercial on her own.
She has throwing to a Little Caesars commercial energy.
Pizza Pete.
Either that or like the Ross Perot dancing guy for the Six Flags commercials.
Oh my God, that freaking guy. I'm sorry. I really feel like I have a booger. Do I?
I knew
I
it.
keep feeling it, you guys. I'm taking a picture of my nose and now I'm going to look at it and close up on it. I don't think I do, but if anybody sees a booger, I'm really sorry. If it's
We'll be sure to
happening on
alert the
Crappens on demand.
authorities. But we'll call the secret police.
Also, that's a terrible fucking angle for me, so I'm going to delete those two pictures.
Jesus.
They didn't already make it to iCloud.
You
Okay, guys.
have beautiful lighting and great angles. Relax.
God, I love you. Okay,
Let's get back to it.
Don't you love
Whitney.
Don't you love a scolding compliment? Lisa's like, you know what? You're telling me what happened when it's on camera, and I gave her the stuff as soon as my arms were free, and I hugged you, and I said, are you okay? Are you okay? And you said you don't want to talk about it, and you got off the vibe like nothing was gonna do. It's gonna be okay. And he's like, yeah, but I was just irritated because I saw you go around the room.
I mean, I don't even know what this means. And Monica is so annoyed that it's not about her. Although I do have to say, she's been pretty good about letting everybody have their moment.
She has.
Which in general, I think this season, she does that. Like, I'm so in a weird space with Monica. I want to stick up for her all the time, even while I'm excoriating her. But I have to say, during the season, she was a good ensemble member too, in that she would wait for her turn to have the drama, and then she would let everybody else go too. Like, she's good at taking turns. But she's getting annoyed now because she hates Lisa, and she keeps doing this thing where she's lifting all of her hair. You know when people like start lifting the hair and then combing it, and then lifting it, and then combing it with their hands, and then lifting it?
Crystal Gale-itis.
Crazy.
Yeah. Meredith, I forgot what I was going to say, but Meredith is like, well, why don't we just summarize? For all of us, we all have a different history and different experience and a different white bean salad recipe. And if someone says that they're hurting, perhaps the thing to do is to respect that, especially if it's me who says it. And if you don't understand, ask questions, unless you're Angie K, in which case you can go fuck yourself and leave the room. Thank you.
Oh, I don't like this whole like if someone's traumatized, we just respect. It's like you have the right to your own feelings, but everyone doesn't get to publish their own version of history, you know, as if it's like fact or something. I mean, now that is, I was
like,
raised
that's literally
in the American public school.
Have you seen the school system?
And
That's literally the
I
history of history.
guess I'll be walking that back now. Yay, history. Still Statue of Liberty. Put down your arm. Okay. That's done.
That being said, That bitch thinks she's smart because she's got triceps. Okay. So Judy from Judytown says, Angie, why were you so quick to forgive Monica when she was the one spreading the gay rumors about your husband that literally made him cry? Do we want to roll footage of Sean crying? And do we have any secret footage of him in the shower? No? Okay.
Oh my gosh, Angie. She really does not have a leg to stand on here. And it is hilarious. She's like,
Well, at the time, I was confused by Monica because she kept saying, she's saying this, she is saying that. So I was focused on Meredith being the one, but then I went to the dessert shop and Monica cried, I am an empathetic person, a Greek person. I care about her mom. I give Greek grace. So I went backwards and put it on Meredith. And that is why Lisa was hurt as well. And Lisa's like, I was hurt. I was very hurt. Let me finish. Baby gorgeous. I knew where it was stemming from. So I gave Monica the benefit of the doubt. I was wrong. Why are you laughing, Monica?
Monica's like,
She was
she's like one of the mice, like building Cinderella's dress for the ball. Laugh.
not unlike the dress she wore in the interviews. So I have to say what was funny about this was, so early in the week, in case you missed it, Ronnie and I did a state of the union for Salt Lake City, state of the SLC with the Broth Bros. You guys could go check that out. And we were making some predictions about the reunion. One of my predictions was that Angie was going to bury the hatchet with Meredith by putting everything on Monica. Like Monica, Monica was the one who pit us against each other. And at this moment right here, I was like, here it goes. Because it looks like she's saying, oh, I was blaming Meredith solely. And I was taking Monica's side. And I was like, see, it's happening. But by the end of the episode, I was like, oh, nope. My prediction is totally wrong. As usual.
Well,
I got this completely wrong.
No, but it is, I mean, look, it's what happened during the season because she kept focusing on Meredith so much that it wasn't like, well, why isn't anybody mad at the one who actually brought it onto television? It was a very good season of snowing people.
Well, because Angie probably was thinking, she was probably thinking, look, I'm going to go after one of the big dogs, to quote Heather on Girls Trip. I'm going to go after one of the big dogs. I'm not going to go after a newbie because that's what always happens. The newbie's got to stick together. That's probably what she was thinking.
Well, and also Monica came in as her friend, right? So even though they had like a couple falling outs or whatever, she's still supposed to be her friend. And Angie, you're right. She's a newbie against all these people. And she's got Meredith freaking after her ass, or not liking her at least and not inviting her on group trips or whatever. So I don't think it was a terrible move, at the time. I mean, in retrospect, obviously it was. But Whitney's like, I'm sorry. She's like, it hurt my feelings because I've been confronted with many hard situations and Lisa called me a liar. And Lisa's like, yeah, but then Lisa goes into this monologue. No one stops Lisa. I think someone has taped his eyes open because he's just like, whatever. Lisa goes on and on like a 10-minute monologue about basically how nothing's really fair. And they start getting in this Greek Easter thing. And I don't know, I was getting lost. It's too much of the circle for me. Because basically there's a lot of talk where Angie, like leading up to that, Angie she says like she was focusing on Meredith, and then Monica she's like, what are you laughing at, Monica? And Monica's like, girl, I'm laughing because you keep phrasing it as if I started the rumor. And she's like, what, you started on national television? Because this is a big distinction for them. They're like, you may not have started it, but you brought it onto TV, And she's like, and I think that the bottom line is that in hindsight, I really regret that I bought and fell for everything that Monica was saying. She lied a lot today. She lied a lot last season. I've learned my lesson. But in the moment, I really felt sorry for her. It's like she had never had moussaka in her life. And I thought she cared about me as a friend, and she never was. So Andy is right.
All right. Well, me from Kono says, Angie, how do you feel about Lisa calling you weak and a liar?
And that's where she's like, it hurt my feelings
That's what-
because
yeah.
I
I was
can't believe
confused.
I've been through so much. And she called me a liar. And Lisa's like,
Yeah, but like I was just calling you a liar because you were lying. So like I didn't mean to. But like it was I was hurt because like I was taking your side. I didn't even know that Monica was the one I didn't know who said it or what Meredith said or who said what. I was just trying to be on your side. And then you don't tell me that you go make up with Monica at a dessert shop. Who does that? Who does that?
was basically her monologue. And
It was a little
she's-
confusing for me. I needed like a little bit of context into what Lisa was saying. I had to be like, wait, what is she talking about? And I had to like really jog my memory, even though it
This
was
is,
what they
like,
were already talking
through
about.
It kind of brought me back to it because I was like, I
Yeah.
don't understand any of this. So then Angie's like, yeah, but you called me weak and a liar. She goes,
Yeah, but I was saying that in the moment because you were lying by like withholding things.
and so she's like, listen, did I watch our conversation on television?
I did. I took account. I said there were things I could do different, Greek. The convo was very one-sided. You didn't do any self-reflecting, Lisa.
And Lisa's like,
You weren't being forthright. She goes, yeah, but I'm very confused by my own conversation.
I was, you weren't doing any self-reflecting, unlike me. And you know, I was self-reflecting because the shirt I was wearing was shiny silver. So Meredith's like, wow, you know, the not sharing with Lisa what Monica told you about me had massive impact on my relationship with Lisa. And in my mind, I'm like, what the hell are you now? What's Meredith talking about? This is when I need a clip because I'm so confused. I know it has something to do
because she's
with
saying,
Sean and
you
sides.
came to me. Oh my gosh. It's because it's like, who started the fight? This is what happens. You light a bomb and then you watch them all scurry and go crazy, which
There's
is
just
what
been so much
Monica
that's
did.
happened.
And they have gone and scurried and gone crazy and they all turned against each other and they all had all these divides. And now they're still in the reunion confusing everybody because they're still fighting as if this fight is between each other when it never was in the first place. Like, I mean, it's some pretty decent manipulation, you know, you have to give her credit. So then Andy, the next question is, Dole from us, Whitney, do you think that Lisa makes everything about herself? And Whitney's like, yeah. And Lisa's like,
do not. Do I get to defend myself? Is this a question for me? Okay, thank you.
You have already defended yourself. No, I don't get to defend myself. I hate when the internet, when my intentions get like misinterpreted. And like, it's like I speak a different language, like East Coast versus West Coast, which is funny because that's also kind of like a big rap thing. And like, I know rap now. So like, if anyone has any questions, I can tell you about like Smalley Biggs and Paksuk Shakurs.
and Monica's like, oh my God, shut up, stupid. Jeez, old people never stop talking. And then she's like lifting her hair and doing the hand brush and rolling her eyes a lot. And Whitney's like,
Well, I think the problem, Lisa, is that you just like ignore us when you're mad at us. Like when I go on TV and accuse you of never of making light of my friend dying and then walk away, like I can't believe you didn't call me.
why? I mean, sometimes I'm just like, why? What are you people talking about? Why would she not ignore your ass? You just completely humiliated her. And did you see her reaction? She was breaking down to the poor pianist in the lobby.
Lisa's like, I do that. Yeah, I do that because I would rather take a step back. And Whitney's like, well, you have to say that you're taking a step back. You know, as your friend, can you just say, I need space? And like, I'll talk when I'm ready. She goes, yeah, I could do that. No problem.
And Andy goes, Whitney, do you think you're the reason for Lisa's growth? And she's like,
No. And you know what's real? You know what's crazy? Like that people really don't understand? We have like a real friendship. It's real.
and Lisa's like,
Yeah, it's real. I love Whitney. I love you, Whitney.
Like, I love you. But can you see it from my perspective? Okay.
Trust the perspective.
Yes, we can see. I feel like every time that Whitney sees one of those TikToks that says, POV, you're skiing down a mountain and a bear's behind you, she's like, but what about my perspective? It's like, Whitney, you're not even in the TikTok. So Heather's like,
she's one of those paintings that you have to stare at a long time for it to like jumble together as a painting, and then just tries to walk it through it like a sliding door. Like,
What?
can you see from my perspective that I'm not giving you a peace sign back? So it's always a peace sign. Why is it always a peace sign?
Or Jesus. I mean, when I grew up, it was just all Jesus. Like they would have those wood blocks that are kind of put together on a portrait that just looks like a maze, like hedges. But then you had to stare at it for a really long time, and you suddenly start to see that it spells out Jesus. We had that at my house. I will never forget. And the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that says Jesus. And my dad was like, finally, you're seeing the truth. Welcome to my childhood. Okay, so
I was about to say, one thing that I really like about this cast is that every single cast member looks like they are trying to figure out a magic eye picture all at the same time.
Magic eye, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I like that. So they take a break and they make small talk about espresso martinis. And then it comes to Meredith. It comes to marriages.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're talking about espresso martinis because Whitney wants one. And Meredith's like, oh, well, I have one up in my room. I only had 2 sips, but we'll get one down here for the next one. Which means that next episode, Meredith's going to be wasted, and I cannot wait.
She's going to be sloshy pied. So then they move to a marriage segment. Angie was accused of hiding rumors and rumors and nastiness. That was good, right, guys? Hold on. Let me say it again. Angie was considered, she had rumors. God, I love me.
He loves this.
Yeah, he really does. And so we see a clip. Want to talk about the rumors and the nastiness?
So what was funny here it's like, okay, so Angie wasn't included in the feud package, but here it is. Angie suffering from these vile rumors that Sean might be gay. And we see Angie at home and Sean crying. And what about Elektra? And it's like a big Angie package. And it comes out of the Angie
Sean's
package.
like,
It kills me. It kills me to think that icon Meredith Marks won't be coming over to our home anymore. Can you call her? Just call her, please.
So here it is, finally the Angie package. It comes out of the package, and Andy's first question, hey, Whitney, at what point did Justin stop wearing his ring? I was like, wow, you guys just don't like Angie.
Angie.
poor Angie.
How do you come out of an Angie clip and ask Whitney a question about Justin? That made no sense whatsoever.
That is so funny. Okay, so then we get to another part of where I think Whitney was just being a damn liar for a storyline and shows that she'll throw anybody under the fucking bus. So she's like,
Well, I wasn't even upset about the ring. I was feeling pressure.
yes, you were literally upset about the ring. You sat him down and said, you're not wearing this ring. You went on national TV to be like, every day I look at your ring that you leave in the drawer. And that hurts me, Justin. That's insinuating, especially with the way that you got with Justin. That's kind of insinuating that Justin got this new job and he's a boss man again and he's kind of fucking around or trying to hide that he's married or something, which is how I took it. And I mean, I can't speak for the whole audience, but it's how I took it.
Yeah, that was the implication.
And then it cuts to her going,
Well, the wedding ring wasn't fitting him. What?
And now he wears it on a necklace. He's a big guy.
come on. And she goes, and I didn't even know it. Oh, really? That whole conversation, you said it hurts me that you don't wear your wedding ring. And he didn't say it's because it doesn't fit me. Man, she really will do anything for
She's hilarious.
a stupid storyline. Come on.
She will do it. She will do it.
We've been married for 14 years, and it's been like a long time. There have been ups and there have been line, sideways, no,
Oh.
downs.
And she basically says, like, oh yeah, I brought a lot of trauma into the marriage, and Justin's an incredible human being, and therapy helped a lot. So now Andy is like, okay, well, I guess I have to ask Angie a question. So,
Hold on,
hey,
Penelope, take off the tarp.
They come out and they take the tarp off of Angie. She's like, tweet, tweet, Greek, 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 tweet, tweet. Polly want a Greek cracker. So Andy's like, so it was so sad seeing Sean get emotional on your city block sized bed that you made so giant so you never have to touch each other. How are you doing over there, Angie? Ah.
how's Elektra doing? Does she really exist? She says, oh, everyone is doing great. I think the big thing is there's a few weeks where you're hearing about it on the internet and you're hearing about it in your business because someone felt they should drop that on national television. That bitch over there next to you, Andy.
And Monica's doing the lifting her hair and pulling it, rolling her eyes, and it's being And I mean, she's got you there. You can't be mad that someone is upset that you went on national TV with that accusation. Come on.
Yeah. And just like, no, I'm going to be really clear because I think there was a lot of confusion. Because Andy says, didn't you know about this already? She goes, 30 years ago, when John and I first met, people said, oh, that guy is hot. Oh, he has nice legs. Oh, he's sleeping with my boyfriend. People are like, is he gay? And I was like, no, he's a hairdresser and like I'm his wife now. So now, like once it's established that we're a couple in SLC, it wasn't like brought up. And to have this 30 years later, that suddenly being brought up and people are bragging about like, oh, he fucks men. This has never come up until this rat came out of the sewer.
And Monica laughs evil. You know, she's like, like she really has like this evil witch in
She does.
She really has like an evil cartoon witch laugh, which is funny. But also, Angie, what is this argument?
No one has ever said Sean was gay except for every single day when they saw Sean when we were dating.
But then they stopped once I married him. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not
Just
the right
because
argument.
he's a hairdresser and cares about his body and married someone who looks kind of like Cher does not mean that he's gay.
So also, obviously, for
Yeah.
anybody new, we're not saying that it's okay that anybody was saying that her husband's gay. Obviously, that's not cool. It's just like, what is this argument?
No one
Yeah,
thought he
yeah,
was
I'm
gay
not-
except everyone before we were married.
Yeah, and I was just being jokey when I was saying that sleeps with a boyfriend. I was being jokey, of course.
Of course. I
course,
don't want
man,
to
that's
like
such a
start. We
sensitive
can't just like apologize for every little thing. I just don't, I don't know if anybody
I know we're not trying to
first hears
like,
us and it's like, what the fuck, you guys? Yes, we're
You
evil.
guys are outing him. You guys are outing.
We're not trying. No, we're just being you're just being stupid.
So then Monica's doing her,
And she goes, do not act like this is the first time you've been called a brat, Monica. And she goes,
No, it's not. That's why I'm laughing. Come up with something else. Okay, prayer hands. And I was not even mean to you at all during filming, except for this rumor I started to try and hurt your marriage.
and hurt your husband.
And then Monica, though, because Angie's like, well, you backstabbed me right in my face, which is really face stabbing, but that's fine. But Monica's like, girl, how is this different from you saying that Meredith lays on her back and spreads her legs, but I'm the evil one? I was like, ooh, she got her. But then Angie is like, yeah, but Meredith wasn't pretending to be my friend, and you did pretend to be my friend. I was like, ooh, Angie got you back.
Yeah, she's like, you pretended to be my friend. So Andy's like, Meredith, you didn't say the actual woo, but you did say so good. But you did tangle the woolmas and the nastiness, Karen, right? What was your motivation to tell them about woolmas and nastiness? God, I love this.
Meredith is like, oh, first, I didn't say it was about her marriage. And he's like, yeah, but you said you want to talk about the husband. She's like, no, well, listen, I have the actual words here. Let me pull this up on my phone. Okay, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's, I'm sorry, that was
Sorry,
a
those were
text message.
instructions to Brooksy's man.
That was for Brooksy. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, here's the actual words.
She reads the whole monologue. It's so funny. She's like,
Well, let me read. If I want to go for the jugular and talk about the wolves and the nastiness, that's pretty good. All right, everybody, sit down. I know. It was a good one. It was good. All right.
Yeah, she's like, you want me to go there with her husband? I can go there with her husband. Don't fuck with me. I'll tell her to fuck Wolf. So then Andy's like, well, it seems like you're dangling a rumor about the husband. And she goes, correct. But I didn't say, well, a marriage. Case closed and dismissed. You're welcome.
Lisa's like, semantics. And he goes, what is the difference? And she's like,
Well, because there could be rumors about her husband, and I said it had nothing to do with her husband.
and then he goes, yeah, or it could have been about Angie. Meredith's like,
Yeah, it could have been about anyone else. Who knows?
We all have rumors.
There are rumors out there, and that's just how rumors are.
So Andy's like, okay, well, let's say you dangled the wombers. Oh, God. So funny. Well,
So he's like, so were you just trying to get them to bring it up on camera? And she's like, no, I was reacting to Angie at the dinner table because I had been drinking, but obviously I had been heavily provoked all day long, and I had other heavy things on my mind, and it was out of anger. And so Andy's like, Angie, what do you think? And she says, well, based on what Monica was saying, you were introducing rumors about my husband, about his sexuality, and that is not right, Meredith. I'm like, you know that she didn't do it. So
Right.
you know that Monica was fucking with you. What are you still trying to tell off Monica?
I'll tell you
Tell
why.
off Meredith about.
It is not right to do this to families with small children, with businesses, with poodles that have pink highlights. I am a pillar of the community of Salt Lake City, and I have always had an incredible reputation. Well, actually, technically, I'm a column in the annual Greek architecture pageant.
Monica, that fucking laugh. And Meredith whips out another paper. She's like, excuse me, you have called me a fraud. You have said I have multiple personality disorder. I'm a lying bitch. You criticize my marriage. You criticize my business. You threaten to take a hit on my family. You call me a trampoline with eyes. And she goes, that was a compliment.
That I use my son as a pawn to take the heat off me for rumors that I did not spread, to take the heat off me for rumors that I did not spread, and I was going to get fired. So that's why I started rumors about you, that you make me relevant, and you also, by the way, threatened me in a cave.
I'm in the middle of all this. Angie goes, okay, let's do this one by one. That is a lot.
Hold on. We're not at a Greek diner. Okay, there's too much on the menu here. So Angie is like, she's like, okay, I do think that I activated you, and you're welcome. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. It's kind of funny when you're saying my greatest hits. Isn't that right, Andy? I get another season, right? So Meredith's like, okay.
Silly, this show. And so she's like, I guess I've triggered you. You're welcome. And so she's like, well, I've been doing a good job of being relevant on my own, Angie. Even Monica could afford my new jewelry line. Right, Monica?
So the tagline for my jewelry is so cheap you don't even have to shoplift it. So Angie's like, well, I didn't say you had personality disorder. Oh, you did. You did. It's in the press. And she goes, well, your voice was changing, and I don't truly believe that, Meredith. And she goes, well, you said it. And you said it. And not only did I hear it, but so did Mary Featherbottom of London. So I don't have multiple personality disorder.
Oh my gosh. So then Andy's like, okay, Angie, you did scream that the only one spreading their legs outside of marriage is you. What did you mean by that? And she's like, Meredith, to be honest, I was told you were seeing other people in your marriage. I am sorry. That was wrong of me to say. I never should have. And of course, they're bringing up the season 1 rumors, right? Where Meredith and Seth were separated, but pretending not to be, but then they were separated. I don't know. And then it came out that they were probably dating other people while they were separated or whatever.
Right. And real quickly, by the way, Angie also explains why trampling with eyes is a compliment, because she goes, that means you have nice, tight skin, and it's better to say that than you're wrinkly. So I would take that as a compliment. It's like, nice, not believable at all save.
You're a trampoline with eyes. There was this is from Substack Open Water, trampling with eyes and other perfect insults. So I guess this is a saying that we've just never heard, right?
I hadn't heard it, and I really loved it, to be honest. I didn't even understand it. I just thought it was funny. It's one of my favorite things. When it was in the trailer, I was like, oh my God, icon. So Meredith says, well, I think it's really sad for women, if that's what you even are, to poke. I don't mean that as transphobic. I mean, are you even a human being? Sorry about that. That came off very wrong in the middle of my sentence here. But well, I said it's really sad for women to poke and prod at another woman for being honest about marital problems. espresso martinis are hitting early, I've got to say. And to try to weaponize that against her at a later date, me at a later date, why can't I read this sentence when I'm really happy? God, I gotta finish this. Where's the period on this sentence? I gotta get out.
Weaponize my open relationship. The same year, I have a podcast out called Hanging in the Balance. They're probably going to get divorced, available on iHeartRadio.
Our podcast just got picked up by tenuousmarriages.com. How could you even weaponize it?
What is their marriage called?
Their show's called Hanging by a Thread.
Barely Still Here. The podcast.
Barely Still Here.
Talk about my marriage.
On the Frosty Relationships Network. I Don't Hurt My Husband Network Radio.
iHeartRadio. More than I love this idiot I agreed to marry years ago.
So Angie's like, but you bring up other marriages. I did not talk about your marriage.
So Angie's like, oh my God, you cannot yell at me about things. When things like this come out, then we respond, and then another person says another thing. That is called a Greek circle. And it's like,
Law against women.
and they have this right where Angie's like, what do you, listen, you say something about marriage, something low, I say something low. That's just how it goes, Meredith. And she's like,
Oh, you've tried to crush my perfect marriage.
it's like another yelling circle, but goddamn, it's funny.
And then out of nowhere, hey, Ira Madison 3 tweeted. I was like, Ira? And then he's...
Oh, I
so
didn't catch that. Yes, Ira.
That was Ira. Ira. Look, it was like not too long ago. Danny Pellegrino got a question in. Ira got a question in. My problem, I feel like it's time for us to get a question, except that every time that Andy puts out the call, I'm like, I don't have any questions. It's so weird. I always blank. I'm like, what's your favorite color? So Ira's question was, hey, Whitney definitely used Monica to be the one to bring up the rumor on camera. She's in her villain era. That was Andy doing Ira Madison. That was me doing Andy doing Ira Madison.
I'm all proud of Ira. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, where am I? So hold on, Monica. He's Monica. Okay. So Whitney looks happy that he's called her a villain, right? And she's like,
Not true. One, this is a tricky situation because one, I didn't know about the rumors. And 3, I never heard the rumors. And 9, the first time I heard the rumor, mouth hurts.
and Lisa's like, yeah, but I told you in Palm Springs. And Monica's like,
I just want to clarify something. I just want to start by saying that I don't blame Whitney for what comes out of my mouth because, like, I say what I want to say. So, period, with the T at the end. Period.
Yeah, I don't even know how to make the Allah noise that she does. And Angie is like, Monica was determined for this to come out about me because she went around to everyone in this group and said there were rumors about me in the first week of filming when I thought we were friends, and she was determined to come on national television and trash my marriage.
and Monica's like, no, we wasn't. It's like, you went to every single person in the group the first week of filming and said, a rumor about me, and I thought we were friends. And Monica's like,
I did never tell Whitney.
and she's like, I am talking. This is my Greek marriage. This is my Greek moment. You have no respect for Greek love and marriage, and so you need to Greek zip it, Greek.
Monica's, oh, wow, you finally made it 4 seasons later, which is funny because you were the one who literally, also went on that journey. So Andy
and it was so good because she goes, oh yeah, 4 years later, you finally made it. And Andy goes, well, I mean, the same could be said to you too, Monica.
It's like, I made it, bitch. I deserve to be here. # pillar of the community. Okay? Because I tick all the boxes. Spending your kids' money on a fucking purse. You're irresponsible and you're sending a bad message to your daughters.
Oh my gosh. So she tells Andy, well, at least I didn't have to force it. And they're all talking over each other.
Yeah.
So then Angie says, forced it. Didn't she say something like, I'm glad you said that actually, because it makes more sense. Because I wrote,
everything
your
was
fucking Ranger over a carport. Your fucking Ranger over a...
she said something like that, and I couldn't figure it out, so I said I'll just admit it. But she said
Make
something
it
about a
make sense.
carport. I was like, I think she said something
Thank
about a
you.
carport, but it's weird to bring up a carport, so I'm just not going to bring it up. But then again, now that you say it, it's Angie. Of course, she'll bring up a carport.
I think she's actually, now that we're talking about how we don't get it, I think what she's saying, oh really, forced it? You have a fucking Range Rover under a carport, meaning like you don't even have a garage for a nice car. Like,
Ooh,
what are you
that's actually
talking
cold.
about, you fucking faker?
That's actually
It
a
is.
cold. That's so cold. Wow.
Well, Angie,
Look at
yeah,
her.
this whole thing was cold. And she's like, oh, spending your kids' money on a fucking purse. That is irresponsible. And Monica's like, are you insane? You keep my... Monica makes that high squeal she does in that video with her mom when her mom is like, I
Yes.
didn't push you down those stairs. You did that to you. And Monica
That's
thinks
on
she's
you.
won something, like, I got you to admit it. You know, she starts squealing at her like, you keep my kids out of your fucking mouth. She didn't say anything about your kids. She said you're a terrible mother. That's not saying your kids are terrible.
Did
And I don't
not
like
talk
when
about the
people-
marriage, talked about the husband.
I don't like when people say that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you better keep my kids' name. She did not say anything about your kids. She said you're terrible
Well,
at mothering them.
That's usually the
That's
person
it.
who's lost the argument is going to go to the keep my kids out of your mouth, because that
Yes.
means you've lost the argument. So you can throw this sort of like moral high ground thing at them instead. And she goes, she's like, yells, keep your kids out of my fucking mouth, you piece of shit. And then she goes, well, then don't talk shit about mine. You can fuck off. I was like, oh, well, there you got it. Like
She goes,
two
"Fuck off,
like
you
kids
bitch."
off.
Yes. But I
Fuck off, you
liked it,
bitch.
Angie. You know, you have to say, Angie, well, you don't have to say it. I have to say, Angie is not afraid. You know, she may be super awkward and trying to remember her lines 90% of the time, but she is not afraid of fighting with these people. I mean, she went for Meredith and got right in Meredith's face, and behind her back and around her and under her, and popped up above bathroom stalls to try and fight with Meredith. But Monica even whipped out the "how dare you keep my children out of your mouth," which is normally something on these shows that's like a stopper, right?
I mean, look what Gina did to Shannon Bedore.
What she
Oh, which
remind me what Gina did to Shannon.
Child remember, she's like, those are my children. You just made a joke about Child Protective Services, which probably, by the way, the crappies, we probably should. That moment was a big moment. But so she shut up Shannon with that. But yeah, Angie was like, guess what, bitch? You talked about my kids too. So, Angie, I think that Angie, is she awkward? Yes. Is she thirsty? Yes. Does she try too hard with her fashion? Yes. But I think that she has definitely earned a spot on this show, and I would like to see her come back next season.
I think so too. Yeah, I think they're great. I have to say, I think the whole cast is pretty great. I don't see, it's hard to see how Monica could return, but we've seen stranger things happen. And let's not forget, this is the show that kept bringing back Jen Shaw. And Jen Shaw was, I don't know how they could ever justify bringing back Jen Shaw after so much she did to people on this show. So
much of this show is about healing and redemption and, forgiveness. And there's all that stuff. I think they'll make it happen. I think that Bravo's going to let them cool down for a moment. And then Bravo's I'm sure Bravo does. I think Bravo will make Monica step away from reality Vontees, but I think that they're gonna get it. This group is still eager to make their mark, to be with the big dogs of Beverly Hills, etc. Because you know what, their ratings are really good, but they're not nearly as good as Beverly Hills. So they know what it's about, and they're gonna do it. They will. Look, Jen Shaw spent a summer railing on Brooks Marks. That is Meredith's son. You want to talk about you don't talk about the children. That's Meredith's son. That's that is really bad. And Meredith still came back and filmed with Jen Shaw. And then not only that, went on to be okay with Jen Shaw and then almost advocate for Jen Shaw. So it can happen. We can make it work.
we'll see, but it has been glorious. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Super fun as usual. And go get your Crappies tickets.
Go get them. And they are at watchcrappers.com. And we will catch you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.